Andy, you good? Brianna? Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and call the Clovis City Council meeting to order for September 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. At this time, if you would all rise for the flag salute led by Councilmember Bessinger. Join me in saluting the flag of our republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we can get roll call.
Councilmember Ashbeck? Here. Councilmember Bessinger?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Pierce?
Here.
Mayor Moanatua?
Here.
And Councilmember Basco is absent today.
Okay. This time we're going to move to our presentations and proclamations. We have this evening a presentation of certificates recognizing students for participating in the American Legion state programs. And here to present, we're going to bring the certificates afterwards. Who's here on behalf of the VFW? Yes. We'll allow you to share with us what happened, and after that, we will present the certificates here for all the students.
So this year we had 6 delegates, and in order to be selected as a delegate, the counselor is the one that sent me a bunch of names, and throughout those names I had to go through a very rigorous process to be what delegate would be the best representation for our program and a sponsor. So the people that will be called were, that I believed in, were like the highest to be that should be chosen. And with this certificate and with the certificate that they received from Boys and Girls State, it isn't just any certificate. It's a certificate that can go on the resume and also can be also used to apply for any academy in the United States. So, you have anything?
Good evening. My name is Gloria Jean Sinopoli, and I'm with the American Legion Auxiliary Unit here in Clovis. And our Girls State program was founded back in 1947, and it's still going strong in all 50 states. And like the American Legion, we go through an interview process, and we each interview each of these young ladies and choose the one we think will do best at the Girls State program. We look for several things, not only grades and standing in class, leadership, extracurricular activities, but we also look for personality, because Girls State's a very fast-paced program. They do it all in 1 week, and if you're a wallflower, you're not going to do well. So we look for the young ladies who we think will be aggressive enough to participate in the program, and that's one of the things we ask them to do, is to run for an office. And if they're not successful the first time, there's plenty more to run for, and so we encourage them to do that, and we've had several of our young ladies do some of the higher offices. In fact, California had the Girls Nation president this year. She wasn't from Clovis, but that's okay. She was from California. So we have a few of our young ladies here, and we're very pleased that you take the time to recognize them. As Josh said, the fact that they were a Girls State citizen goes on their applications for college, and the colleges and universities throughout the United States recognize our program, and they give heavy weight to the fact that these young ladies participated in the Girls State program. So thank you very much.
We wanted to thank the VFW, all the volunteers, the commanders, for bringing this to us every single year, and for all the students that actually get selected and you actually get to go and you run for whatever office. Hopefully it's a neat experience, and you actually get to do it one day in our city, in our county, or wherever you end up. So we're going to go ahead and read the names. I'm going to have Mayor Pro Tem Pierce hand them out. I'll read them. And then if your name is called, please come and shake our hands up here. American Legion, sorry. My apologies. Yeah, you guys all do such great jobs. So, okay. All right, first one here is Luke Ahrens. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize ahead of time, okay? Luke Ahrens. And then Harveen Brar. Luke Hartman. Leo Jimenez. Congratulations. Is he here? Is Leo here? Okay, we'll give that. Osmond Lee. Rocco Whitaker. Brooklyn Palms. We have Peyton Karpenko. Ikam Sekon. And Jana Gaboyan. Okay, we have the certificates in our challenge coin here. And if one of the American Legion.
Is it challenge coins for the ones who weren't here, and I
Yeah.
have yours up here.
Yes. Certificates, yes.
You want to stand over here behind? Yeah, awkward, we're off balance here.
Okay.
Any future mayors among you? Anybody?
So, to the four of you, if you would like to share your experience, we want to give you that chance as well, just over there at the podium. If you would like to share your experience, no pressure.
I'd rather not do that.
Yeah, love to hear.
Boys and Girls State program was much more enriching than just teaching us about government and law. At the beginning of the week, we all took a bar exam that tested our knowledge about the government and law. And well, a good portion of us passed. Throughout the week, we realized it wasn't so much about our knowledge of government and law, but the values that help run and make those procedure or organizations succeed. Such values of leadership, procedure and order, organization is what we truly learn is what make these organizations succeed. So for me personally, I took part in organizing a city fair. I was the head of the committee. Organization and delegation played a big part of that, and making that as successful as I can be truly demonstrated what the importance of those values are.
Thank you.
First of all, I'm very grateful to be able to attend the Boys and Girls State. I learned a lot. I met many new people, and I had a great time just running for positions, stepping out, and just engaging with all the other people from all the rest of the state. I ran for multiple positions, and thankfully towards the end, I did get one of them. And I had a great time learning about like how all of the running for elections and campaigning and all of that works, as well as a section on law that I really enjoyed. As I was able to take the bar exam towards the beginning of the week, and then I enjoyed learning about legal proceedings and just how attorneys do business from real attorneys. And I really enjoyed the whole week.
Excellent, thank you.
So I went to specifically Girls State because Miss Gloria here sponsored me, which I was very grateful for because I got interviewed for Boys and Girls State as well, but I got to specifically go to Girls State, which I don't know. I think I really had fun with many women around me because I learned so much, especially with the guest speakers and everything. I sadly didn't get an elected position, but oh boy, did I learn so much about government and everything. When I first went to Girls State, I didn't really know what I was getting to at all, but it really made me more interested in politics and what I can do in the future. So I'm very grateful that I got to go.
Excellent, thank you.
Boys and Girls State for me, I think, will always be one of the best experiences of my life because I can't think of another moment where you're going to be surrounded by 1,000 individuals who have just the same amount of motivation as you and are going as far as you're going to go. These are people who were ambitious and had their own nonprofits and were working 12-hour days after school every single day, and were putting their absolutely best into every passion project they made. And I think being in that hard-working environment was very motivating and empowering to do more because you were surrounded by your future leaders of America, and it was just such a special experience. And for me, Boys and Girls State also offered an oratorical contest, which I am very grateful for winning out of 118 entries.
Oh,
so it was an amazing experience. It was 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. hour days, but everyone in your city was truly becoming your best friend, and that was all worth it.
Congratulations, awesome. Any comments from our fellow council members?
I will just say that my mother attended Girls State in the 60s. And so I have heard such incredible things about it growing up and everything. And so to know not only is it still going strong, but it's still shaping these young leaders, I am so impressed by all of you and so grateful that you took advantage of an opportunity that was provided to you. The opportunity being there is one thing, but you have to take advantage of it. And to have put so much of yourselves into the experience and gotten out of it so much, that's a testament to what you put into it as well. So congratulations to you, and thank you to the American Legion and the Girls and Boys State programs for doing such incredible work for our youth.
Thank you very much. Okay, congratulations again. We're going to go ahead and move to, next item is administrative items. Because it is a school night, we're going to have this item first. It is, this is to consider approval of appointing the City of Clovis Youth Commission. Staff on this is Chad McCollum and Brianna Parra.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll go ahead and get it started. First, I just want to say how excited I am to be bringing before you year 3 of the Youth Commission for 2025-2026. For some of you who do not know, it was established in late October of 2023 by the council. They created this commission for youth to engage their voices in the city of Clovis. Some of their duties and responsibilities include that they will hold office this year from September to May of next year. They are going to meet monthly to set accomplished goals outlined in the Youth Commission, by the Youth Commission, the City Council, and city staff. They're going to be representing the Clovis youth at events and activities. They're going to plan and execute a project benefiting the youth in the city of Clovis, and they're going to present this to the City Council annually sometime in May. How we did the application process, we did a great amount of outreach thanks to Chad and his team. We did it through social media, through our local media and word of mouth, as well as through CUSD. The requirements to get onto the commission is that they must live within the city of Clovis, be a 10th, 11th, and 12th grader. There is a 2-step interview process that they went through. They interviewed with the city staff and the incoming seniors. And there were 21 students that we were going to accept. 11 are returning from last year, and we accepted 10 new appointments. They are representing Buchanan, Clovis High, Clovis West, Clovis East, University High, and Clovis Online Charter. So I will kick it over to Chad.
All right. Mayor, members of the council, and Brianna, thank you for that. behind us, we have the actual living, breathing commissioners, and I'd like them to stand, if you would. The photos will remain up on the photos there, up on the screen. What a fantastic group of young people. We have worked really, really hard to try to find a wide variety of young people who come from different backgrounds and who have all levels of interest. We found them. What we didn't find was like an average Joe. I know that was an edict from the council early on, is kind of find the average kind of kid. No, these are anything but average. You can sit down. They are amazing, and being around them is inspiring. I did this last year, and I want to take a moment and just ask the parents or parent figures to stand up who are in the audience tonight, who are here to support their youth commissioners. They don't end up on that screen without parents and guidance and support like they're getting here. So want to thank you for that, and they will need the support because it's fun tonight. It's going to be work. All right, just a little bit about what our youth commissioners will be doing throughout the year. They're going to be learning a lot about city government. I was so inspired hearing about the Girls and Boys State. There's a theme tonight, which is really cool. City government, local government is really important. It's where you can make the most difference, and they're going to learn how that can happen. They're going to take some time and tour the city facilities. You're in City Hall right now in the council chambers. We have city facilities all throughout the city, whether it be the water treatment facility, the rec center, the transit center, the senior center. All of these places work together to serve this community. So they're going to spend some time learning about that. They will volunteer as well. They're going to spend a lot of hours volunteering. They'll be giving back, attending at city functions, representing the commission. They'll be getting their hands dirty. I'll show you a photo here in a minute from last year. They will take some time as well and represent the youth for our general plan update. You heard it earlier on today in the lobby for the parents, and the Measure Y Oversight Committee. So we're going to want to know from the youth, where do they want our city to go for the next 10, 15, 20 years? They will be meeting quite often, monthly at least, between September and May. The first meeting is going to be in September 17th. And then they'll be reporting to council. They have the opportunity to learn how to present to council, and having met with many of these young people, they will have no problem. They're going to do just fine and make us as city staff look bad. And maybe we can learn a little something from them. A few photos here. So last year, our youth commission spent a lot of time being out in the community representing the city. Everything from our tree lighting, our rodeo parade, the mayor's breakfast. In the far right bottom corner, you'll see them all wearing green vests. They actually decided on, organized, and carried out a service project that was community-based, and it was fantastic. I think we had like 400 hours that day. It was really amazing of service that was given back to the community. But it's not all fun and games. We are spending lots of time in workshops, classroom settings, where they're digging into the tough issues, whether it be mental health issues, or how do we handle the issue of all those e-bikes buzzing around our trails, or a bunch of other issues that they may bring to us that we haven't even thought about as an older generation member. I'll turn it over to Brianna to kind of talk about the next steps here.
Yes, Council, so that is our presentation. So we are before you to ask for your recommendation and consider and approve the appointments of the following individuals listed here for the Youth Commission of 2025-2026.
Okay. Any questions or comments regarding the commission from council? Go ahead.
Parents, thank you for allowing your youth to volunteer for this program. It's an important thing for us as a council because there's going to be perspectives that we don't consider because we're not growing up right now. And being able to listen to what a young person who's been educated in our school system and who has been educated partially by the city of Clovis, showing them this is where the water goes. This is where we do these things. This is how the police department and the fire department run, when they give their opinion, it'll have a lot more weight, because we won't be able to look at them and go, you don't understand. They do understand. And it'll help us understand a little bit better. And this is a win-win. And I'd like to thank both the mayor and Councilmember Ashbeck for their leadership on this issue.
I just want to say, I know we won't vote yet, but I'm pretty sure it should be okay, Will. But congratulations. I appreciate the ones who have stayed on, because I think to see how you are mentoring the 10 new commissioners, that is what we wanted, and for you to help guide them along and then allow them to also be their own commissioner as they move forward. And I want to echo Councilmember Bessinger with regards, thank you, parents. Thank you for allowing us to help educate and use and learn from your children. And I want to thank Clovis Unified. You know, a lot of these students are from our Clovis Unified School District, and it shows just how great a caliber of students that have grown from elementary to now high school for us to see them at this stage, and how ready they are, more ready than we could have ever imagined. So just congratulations to Yolanda and the entire school board and the school district for the excellent work you guys do as well. Yes, Councilor Ashford.
One thing I was struck by with the last year's group, and I want to say to this group, you all are better at solving problems than adults. And you all had hard conversations, and you worked through issues, and you talked about things that are difficult, and you all came from a different place, and you were able to work through some of those issues. So I really admire that, and I think we can learn a lot as adults on how do you solve problems with people that you share something with, but not everything. So I really was, I was super impressed by that, and you did it naturally and kind of organically. So we have hard problems to solve as a community and a country and all of that, and we really count on you. But I was very struck by your ability to do that, and that is a rare gift and one that we really need in our community. So I'll look forward to more of that from this group this year. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to go ahead and open up to the public. Any questions, comments from the public? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close that and bring it back to the council.
It'd be my honor to make a motion to appoint these wonderful future leaders of our city to the Clovis Youth Commission.
I'll
Second.
second. Yep. Second, third, fourth.
We have a motion, second for all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Now, yay.
Okay, we'll move on now to the public comments. At this time, if you would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda, you may do so at this time. I want to note for the record that we do have 3 comments in email regarding the senior center. And so I'm going to open up public. Anyone like to address the council? Yeah. And if you can give your name and address for the record, we appreciate that.
Am I allowed to give you things?
Should have told them to stay for the whole meeting, the first assignment.
Do I start? Okay.
Probably not a great
My name's Debbie Graber, and I am here on behalf of the Senior Center and some recent things that led up to Jim Ray's resignation recently. Jim Ray has been a line dance, Western dance instructor for the Clovis Senior Center for the past 30 years and in Clovis for over 40 years. I have some papers. Can I
Sure.
give them to
You
you?
give it to the clerk. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
And I have some pictures. Those are just one of each of those and some pictures. You can keep them, it doesn't matter. Or you can give them back to me. I'll keep this, yeah. So this past week, we've had some events that led to the abrupt resignation and retirement of Jim Ray. Jim Ray has been a staple of Clovis for over 40 years, teaching line dance and country western dancing, 30 years at the Senior Center, and he's loved by all of his students, anyone that has learned from him. He's probably taught all of the Central Valley dance, line dance, couples dance. Approximately 30 years ago, when the original Senior Center, original Senior Center on 854th Street opened in 1982, he started teaching there probably in the early 90s and immediately started a fundraiser to put in a floating wood dance floor or a floating dance floor for that main hall, which became the dance hall for all dancers in Clovis. It's a beautiful hall. There's one photo that's going around that shows the hall, but that picture also has some other information on it that I'm going to go over. So about 30 years ago, they raised the money for that flooring. And then when the new center opened, it didn't have wood flooring. He was told that it would have a dance floor, an appropriate floor for the dancers, because when you dance, you shouldn't dance on concrete, especially if you're a senior. It's bad for your joints and your bones and your muscles. When he got to the new facility, it was concrete. And he immediately lost a good portion of his dancers because they were getting injured and they couldn't handle the concrete. So for 2 years, he's begged to go back to the other center, and we understand that it was actually, I think someone else bought it, and then maybe that fell through. I'm not really sure what happened, but it became available again at the beginning of the year, and we, through a lot of pushing, were able to get back there and get the dance classes back there, Jim's dance classes, and he's got line dance, couples dance, and then he has a Friday night dance that he does, and he's been doing for over 30 years, every Friday night. So everything was great, and his attendance started picking up a lot. We had a lot of people return that had quit. We have people come in daily just to see him. People that danced with him 20, 30 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. He's one of the most loved people I've ever met in my whole life. And he's been steady with his work. He has taken maybe 5 vacations over the past 30 years. All he does, he lives to dance. He loves to dance. He loves to teach. Teaching actually is his passion. So about 2 weeks ago, we came into the beautiful room with a beautiful floor, and there was blue painter's tape all over the floor outlining a pickleball court. So I think we have a lot of pickleball courts in Clovis. I'm not sure, but it's something that we couldn't dance on. Our feet, when you slide, when you dance, the tape stops your foot. It rolls up. It's sticky. It's leaving residue. It's ruining the floor. So we asked the management. We asked Ashley, we asked Bethany, can we please pull up this tape? And they said, no, you're just going to have to make it work. We said, okay, it's not going to work. So the students started complaining a lot, and eventually, well, let me jump to, I guess, last week. Well, first of all, back to the blue tape. One time when we asked if we could take it up, we were told, Jim was told, and I witnessed this, Jim was told by Ashley Winslow, this is not your dance floor. This is not the Jim Ray building, which is offensive and rude, and you shouldn't talk to your employees that way. So on August 26th, during class, there was talk of going to city council, not by Jim, by the students, because they wanted the blue tape off the floor because it was interfering with their dance. It was a tripping hazard. It's not safe to be dancing and possibly have your foot stuck, and it's not safe. You could fall. You could twist your ankle. They're seniors at the Senior Center. A lot of the people in his classes are actually in their 80s and 90s. So they were talking about it in class, and Jim got a message from Bethany saying, I heard you're telling your students to go to city council, and he said, no, I'm not. And she said, yes, you are, and he said, no, I'm not. Of course, he didn't. He wasn't. There was another gentleman in the class that was talking about city council. It probably came from his mouth, but Jim did not tell his students to go to city council. So on August 28th, Bethany called a meeting with Jim, and he wanted to talk to Bethany anyhow because he was having problems with Ashley because of the way she was speaking to him and just making him feel. It was very hostile, very toxic, just not appropriate. I've worked in a lot of professional positions, and I would have to say I did not think that it was professional the way he was being talked to. Sometimes he's treated as if he's a child. So on the 28th, he met, which was last Thursday, he met with Bethany and told her about the problems he was having with Ashley. And according to him, I'm not him, I wasn't there, she laughed at him and dismissed him. So they went on to talk about the tape on the floors, and there was supposed to be another solution, rubber lane lines or something. He said, well, what happened with the other solution? And he was told it didn't work, so we're gonna put the blue tape back down. And he said, well, that's not gonna work. And so then he was told that he could pull the blue tape up before his class as long as he put it back down after, which is ridiculous. That would take hours. And we're talking blue painter's tape on the floor. So it was something that was said that is not gonna be done. And Jim Ray would have been here, but he couldn't. It was emotionally too difficult for him to deal with this right now. But he decided that he felt defeated. And so Friday morning, he went to CalPERS, he took out all his money, he got a payout because he was told that if he got a payout, that he could get reinstated with his job if the city would allow that, because he also resigned from the senior center because he cannot work under those conditions, but he does want to teach, he does want to dance. He wants to do it on that floor. That is the only dance floor in Clovis. It is the only floating wooden dance floor that I'm aware of in all of Fresno. It's a beautiful, beautiful floor, a beautiful room for dancing. It could be a dance hall. You guys you could turn that into a dance building. Currently having pickleball and ping pong sharing that space, we were fine with it until the blue lines went down. But we've had the pickleball players tell us that it's not safe, that they slide, that the balls hit the ceiling. It's not really fit for pickleball. So why did pickleball become a priority over dancing that is good for the body, good for the soul? I've had people.
Debbie, I'm just
I
going to
know,
ask you to
I'm
wrap
taking
up.
up too
so,
much time,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, just go ahead and wrap up.
Okay, so I know a lot of this revolves around money, so I just want you to know that I did my own little number crunching, and I think Jim probably brings in about $41,000 a year to the senior center. And my goal for this is actually to get Jim reinstated back and to hopefully get the blue tape pulled up so that our community can be what it was, which was beautiful. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Andy, I understand that we're working this out, correct?
Yes, staff is working on it.
Yes.
Yeah, having meetings.
Okay. Thank you, Andy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's being worked on, because these dance lessons are extremely important to me. My name is Twyla Smith, and I've been attending Jim Ray's classes for probably 20 years now, and I've never met anyone so patient, so kind. He's a wonderful teacher, and we'd be lost without him. These classes, to me, are my exercise, they're my fun, they're my friends. I'm gonna miss them terribly, and no one can replace Jim Ray.
Thank you, Twyla.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Trevino. I live on Bullard. I wanted to commend the city of Clovis for Sunnyside and Barstow. They used to, at one time there were 4 lanes. Now there are 2 lanes with bike lanes. And on Barstow, they even have enough room to park your cars. And I used to go to mechanic, and there was nowhere to park. And man, kudos to the City of Clovis for doing that. Second, I wanted to speak about the issue with Jim Ray. I don't know Jim Ray, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and he's on Facebook. There's a page called You Grew Up in Clovis, and Jim Ray, Mr. Ray, would come on that all the time about dancing. I grew up here. There used to be a hall right across from the Veterans Memorial Building. It was called Twin Gables. And as a kid, I used to go over there. It was a nice hall. And so some of you guys remember that, okay? Anyways, I had a couple sisters that got married there, and it's a part of our lives. But anyways, I used to be a cook, and I worked with a couple of women. And I remember there was one that bragged about square dancing. When we were kids, that's what we did. We'd go to school, and they used to teach us how to do square dancing. I don't know if they still do that or I don't know if they still do that or not. But believe it or not, I'm Hispanic. But that was part of our culture growing up here in Clovis. You know, learn how to square dance, and then as I got older, the movie about the cowboys came up, and this place was hot. You know, the bar here in Clovis, and I remember going in there, and they used to have dancing classes in there, in the bar. And I remember going there like at 7 o'clock, and they had, you know, this place, that's an iconic place of Clovis, you know. But anyways, I used to go in there, and they'd be practicing the dancing, you know. I never learned how to dance like that. But anyways, I thought I'd mention that. So anyways, thank you.
It's not too late.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
Hello, my name is Mary Bracci. I think one of the letters you got was from me. 9 years ago, I became a widow and moved to Clovis to help with my mom, who was also failing. I joined Jim Ray's dance group. I became a member of his dance team. We were a competition dance team. Loved it. Jim Ray has been an employee of the city of Clovis for many, many years. There's a community of us dancers that just follow him like crazy, right? I'm a retired HR professional, so I've been on the HR side. I've also been an employee. My take on this is that there was a communication breakdown, okay? Jim went to the staff to express a concern about a trip hazard, clearly was there. I saw people dancing around it to try not to trip on it. And keep in mind that when you take the tape up, there's still a sticky residue. Okay, so I know Jim well. Jim is not the type of person to be able to come do this. It's not his thing. But can he teach a dance class, and can he rally some people in doing the same thing? Yes. I would ask that the council somehow get involved to facilitate a meeting between both sides. There's a communication breakdown, and I think after 30 years with the city, Jim deserves a listening to and an opportunity to come back, and we would love to have him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Henry Wegerman. Diana remembers me. Huh? But I'm a charter member of Fresno County Smooth Dancers. So it's a national, only in the state, but we're called ourselves Fresno National Smooth Dancers. And we do ballroom dancing. The 10 steps, the 10 style of dancing that we do, and now a few more since the Latin part integration came in. But ballroom dancing, you slide on the dance floor. The new senior center, we tried that out for a couple years, and we had nothing but complaints. We actually put socks on our feet, on our shoes, to be able to slide a little bit better. I have always been impressed with the city of Clovis for the community service that you guys have. Comparing to Reedley or Fresno, I'm impressed with Clovis, and I know you guys will do this right, that you will correct it. And I hope that the floor will stay, that will make it right, take off the tape. You can paint it with the way they do basketball courts. But pickleball is a fad. Ballroom has been around since a long time, and it's not going to go away. The dancers may go away somewhere else, but you don't want to lose the dancers. Fresno Smooth Dancers have utilized this hall for about 25 years. So it's been a blessing for us, and we thank Jim Ray. I know him personally, is a wonderful man, and so thank you very much.
Thank you, Harvey. Yeah. Anyone else like to address the council? Yes, please.
Well, first of all, thank you for listening. And I'm a really emotional person, and I think my age has something to do with it. But I, too, am here to praise Jim Ray. I'm 82, and a friend of mine said, let's go do line dancing. And we heard that they had it at the senior center. I'd never been there before. And so we gave it a try. He makes it so much fun. He really, I don't know if any of you have ever been in any of his classes of anything that he's ever taught. He carries a rock in his pocket that's marked patience. And so whenever somebody gets frustrated, he pulls it out and he says, patience, patience, it's okay. Eventually you'll get this and you'll be just fine. It just doesn't matter. He makes sure everybody that's there is okay with moving on to the music or whatever. We give him a really hard time. I attend People's Church, so I bring, I work the food pantry over there. So I pick up food at different places, so 4 times a week. And I bring it over here to the senior center as well, and I share it with the people in line dancing. I have to write a note saying what I took, what I dropped off, because they said they have to count everything. So I do that, and I do it as often as I possibly can to keep those people happy. They're so appreciative. And he keeps telling me, thank you very, very much. You don't have to tell me thank you. My husband thanks him for getting me to line dancing. And I have been told by 2 of my doctors, one is a diabetic doctor. He told me the best thing you can do is to get out there and do line dancing because you're using so many of the different muscles or it's the movement. Please bring back the movement, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Anyone else? Well, I know that we don't usually comment, but I do want to say this with regards to just your council, and I guess I say this to our staff, that our citizens should never be dissuaded from approaching us. And so I just, I think we want that. We serve the people, and so the citizens should be able to come to us at any time, and we will always listen to both sides to try to resolve the issue. And so to all the staff too, we're not on anyone's side. We're trying to just move the city forward. So when we hear from our citizens, this is something that we, at least ever since I've been on the council, all the council members that I have served with have always welcomed public comment, or even just the approachability of all the council members, whoever you are comfortable with in reaching out to. So that's something we will always allow and will always welcome. So I just want to say that before we move forward. Lynn? Yeah.
So thank you to all. I kind of want to do line dancing. Is there any, so we can't
You're
act.
still too young.
I'm still too young?
You're still too young. You can't go to
Nice.
CC.
I'm not too young for anything. I'll be there. My question for staff is this. We can't act on this tonight because it's not on our agenda. So we hear you, and staff is saying they're working on it. Do we need to do anything else to support staff, to put something on an agenda? Do you need any kind of action, or can this be resolved outside of coming back here with something in particular?
We think we can resolve it outside of coming back to here, but if needed, we will come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we do hear you, and you are important, and thanks for the photos, and appreciate it.
Thank you. That closes the public comment portion. We'll move to the consent calendar. Consent calendar items are routine in nature and will be recommended for approval by the city council as a whole. And I want to note for the record that for item 7, Mayor Pro Tem Pierce has a conflict. Item 8 and 9, Councilmember Ashbeck has a conflict on those. I think, Scott, or you guys, they're going to stay here on the dais. They're not going to.
Yeah, for consent items, they can stay. I would just ask each of the council members to just publicly state what their conflict is, just briefly.
On item 7, my conflict is I own real property within 1,000 feet, I think it is, feet? Too close to the tract that is on item 7, so I have to recuse myself.
And the same for me on items 8 and 9. I live within 1,000 feet of that piece of property.
Okay. All right, and then would any council member like to pull any of the other items at this time? None? Okay, we'll open up to the public portion. You can comment on items, all of them at this time, and we'll just take the motions accordingly. Seeing none, okay, we'll close that portion. We can do the non-conflict first.
I figured I'd
Yeah.
do that. Motion to approve item 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And 10?
And 10.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Do we do them individually?
One individually? Yeah. 7?
Item 7.
Okay.
Motion to approve item 7.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor of approving consent item 7 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition? 1 abstention, 1 absent.
Motion to approve item 8 and 9.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of approving consent items 8 and 9 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. And we'll have
And I abstain.
1 abstention and 1 absent for 8 and 9. Okay. All right, now we'll move to administrative items, item 11. And so this is ordinance 25-11, amending chapter 5.3 to title 5 of the Clovis Municipal Code relating to tobacco retailers. The vote was 3-1 with 1 absent. Councilmember Bessinger voting no. Councilmember Ashbeck was absent. Staff on this is our city clerk, Brianna Parra.
Yes, thank you, Council. This is a routine item, and it is before you on the administrative due to the vote. So staff does not have presentation, but if you have questions, we do have staff here to answer.
Okay. Any questions of staff? Okay. Anyone in the public here to speak on item 11? Okay, seeing them, we'll bring it back with a motion.
Then I'll make a motion to approve item 11, amending charter 5.35 to title 5 of the Clovis Municipal Code relating to tobacco retailers.
And I'll second that. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
And no for the record, and then 1 abstention. So it's 3-1 with 1 absent. Okay. Thank you. We'll now move to item 12. This is consider approval amending the city's master administrative fee schedule pertaining to changes in labor costs and other increases. And staff on this is our Assistant City Manager, Paul Armendariz.
Thank you, Mayor, and members of the council. So tonight we have in front of you consider approval of the master administrative fee schedule updates. So a quick background, the master fee schedule establishes fees for a variety of city services. We update this periodically. The last comprehensive update was completed in December 2023 and went into effect on January 1st of 2024. We do try to do an annual review in order to keep pace with cost increments. And the proposed fees that we have in front of you tonight have been adjusted to address actual cost of services. So starting with the Public Utilities Department, the Public Utilities Department, is specifically parks and utility sections, proposing fee adjustments to the park facility reservation fee, as well as the hydrant water meter fee. Moving on to the General Services Department, for the transit section, you'll see all of those line items crossed out. So unfortunately, we are no longer able to rent out our trolley due to receiving federal funding. So we are removing those fees from our fee schedule. Below that is the senior services section. We have adjusted a couple of the fees for a table sponsorship and a rental deposit for that facility. That is a refundable deposit should the facility be cleaned. General services continued. The community center section, which is the previous or the old senior center, these fees were originally in our fee schedule but were removed with the building of our new senior center. However, as you heard tonight, we are continuing to now use the old center for rentals and other classes, so we added these fees back into our fee schedule. Under the recreation section, we recently did some improvements to the dance room at the rec center, as well as we made some improvements to the baseball fields at Rotary Park, including the snack bar, so we're adding some fees in there to rent those fields and the snack bar. Moving on to the police department, this ordinance was actually in May of 2024, ordinance 2406 was approved for the licensing of tobacco retailers. This is just more of a cleanup item, just getting it into our master fee schedule, so we're memorializing that. And then the last item is the fire department. We're adjusting all fees by 3% to cover the cost of labor for the various items under the fire department. So next step, should this be approved tonight, the master fee schedule will be published and the schedule will be in effect January 1st of 2026. And the goal will be to do annual reviews and annual recommendations of any fee adjustments. With that, I'm available for any questions.
Any questions of staff on these fees? Okay. Paul, I did have several. Yep. So I wanted to look at the park facility fees. I know it's not a lot, but parks are a premium for families to come out. It's 82, now it's going to 124, 41 to 60. My question is, are there a lot of cleanup, meaning are our residents requiring a lot more staff time to come after they rent? So that's why, you looked at the fees and you go, okay, it is. Or are our residents pretty clean overall? And even if they rent or don't rent, we still go clean it anyway. So in other words, why do we keep charging for that? I mean, I know it's not a lot, but to some people, 160 for, where there's 5 or more tables, it could mean, oh, well, we won't go do it, or hopefully no one's coming and we'll just go get the tables, and if someone has it, then we'll just move over kind of deal. And so I go, 106 was pretty reasonable already. And so I just want to see how my fellow council members feel too. I know we keep doing it, and I just look at it and I go, yeah, what?
Fair question. So this fee, the last time we revised this fee was actually in 2017. It's solely to recover costs of our staff, as you had mentioned. It's not just the cleanup afterwards, but it's also prepping the site. So before we have a park reservation, if someone actually calls and makes a reservation, our staff will go out there, clean up the site, make sure the picnic tables are ready, trash cans are cleared. There's also electricity in there that they can use, and then it also covers the cost for staff to come back out after the park or after the rental to clean up afterwards too. So that cost is the charge for our staff to go out there and do that work and prep the site. Again, the cost hasn't been revised since 2017, and so we feel that this is appropriate, but I understand your question too.
Can we look at it, I guess, closer for this coming year and just see, okay, are rentals down? Are there actually more staff time? Just so we get a clear picture, meaning, okay, it is deterring people because of higher costs, or no, our residents are okay with it because they like our services, just so that the justification for it, I think we can substantiate it to the residents, and also, I guess, to me as one council member because we are raising the fees.
Yeah, no, I think we can, I can work with the Public Utilities Department, and when we come back next year, we'd be happy to report out to see if our reservations went down, or if we had any negative feedback from residents with the increase, we'd be happy to report out on that. And should we experience that, we can reconsider making adjustments next year.
Thank you. I had a question with regards to senior center. There's an event table sponsorship. It used to be 75 to 150, now it's 75 to 500. Is that when the senior center sponsors an event, meaning like they're buying a table, or what is that? I just want to understand what that is. Can you explain that so I know what that increase from 150 now to 500? What is a event table sponsorship?
I feel like last time I didn't know how to work the microphone, so I got that. So the event sponsorship is for when other entities want to come and sponsor a table at an event that we're having at the senior center. So for advertisement or for participation, to have a table and to have their logo displayed in the senior center for an event.
We can increase the charge of the sponsorship.
They have options,
Yeah.
so it's tiered, and we just increased it
Okay.
because it seems like there's an interest in providing support for the senior center.
Why put a cap then?
Right.
No, I don't
We
understand.
thought
the
500 sounds reasonable. We don't want to go too far.
No, but if
So-
someone's like, an event, if someone's going to sponsor 2,500, I mean, this will go, well, you can only pay 5, or you're going to get 3 tables.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So why not
Sure.
just
Then we
make
invite
it where
them
you
to the
don't come back?
Friends. We invite them to donate to the Friends and then still participate. And it keeps it reasonable, so it's not unattainable, and so everyone can participate.
Well, I come from the world of asking, and so I just.
Yeah, we live in a world where people charge a whole bunch of money to
Yeah.
buy all
We will
kinds of
take it.
tables, so you're like, $500, that's a sale. That's a
Agreed.
sale. I'll take 2.
We'll take it.
Okay, and then just down a couple lines, it goes, senior center classes, $1 to $50. I'm afraid of that big gap.
Sure.
Because I remember when I first got on the council, we were raising $1, and our council said no. And so with that big range, we can be charging a current class as $1 to $5, and it'll still be okay. And it makes it where, why that big range? Can you help me understand that?
Sure. So the majority of our classes are in the very low range, either free, we have a lot of free classes, and then range between $1 to $4 on average. The $50 represents like an art class where there's an activity packet where, you know, they have to buy supplies to accompany the class or, you know, to attend the class, but it's for the whole series. So it could be an 8-week class and they're paying the $50 to attend the whole class.
So how will seniors be able to come to us if they feel like you raised a class within this range? I want to, how do they, because now you can just go, hey, council approved it. We can go up to $50. And before it was only $5. Now we're going to charge 40. So I know we won't, but in case that happens, what do they do? Because they're within our policy.
So we're not raising any of the fees. What you see there as far as the community center is the fees that we're attaching to the community center, but we're not increasing any of the fees for any of the classes at the senior center. So
I understand that.
Okay.
But does this give staff the ability to increase it up to 50, no issues? That's my worry only. I know we don't. I know we're and so I don't know what was here before because it's red, so it seems like a new item. But I really very close to the seniors and protecting them and helping them. And so how do we write it in a way in which seniors are comfortable?
Sure. So this range is reflective of what we've had at the senior center. So the same range is what we're using for the community center. But by and large, I mean, that it's a rarity to have that higher end range. Like I said, we stay within $1 to $4 is about where we're at, if not free. And our goal is to make it accessible for all seniors.
Okay. And I 100% trust our staff because I think they love you guys love our seniors.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to lay that out there. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
We had discussions about pickleball during public comments. Where on this fee schedule would pickleball be, and what would it cost for people to come in and play pickleball?
So we have, pickleball is really popular, which is why we're trying to find the balance. But it ranges from free to $4. So depending upon, which group. So we have competition. I mean, we even offer employee pickleball on Wednesday afternoons. And it's incredibly popular, which is great for our staff. So it's in the low range.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't hitting them for $50 to come in.
Yeah, definitely not.
Be bad at something that they're new at.
And we provide all the paddles and all the gear.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my last one, thank you. That's all I have for the general service. My last one is with regards to the tobacco retailer's license fee, and it's $1,000. And I feel like this is very hefty. I feel like they already have a right to operate, and then we slap this $1,000 fee on it as well. And so I've heard many complaints. We are probably one of the very, very few cities that actually have this fee. And my comment is we are already, so I'm assuming, okay, it's going to take more PD time to go out. We have Measure Y. We're paying for the officer already. Why charge all these? And I understand that this goes to every single retailer who sells tobacco. So your Walmart's down to mom and pop, correct? And so what are we doing with this so much money? We have Measure Y. So Walmart's not going to have a problem. They can pay $1,000 easily. But mom and pop, we already took all the tobacco products out, so they're struggling, and now they pay $1,000. And then, so I want us just to look at it and just go, how can we operate much better, how business friendly? Is this such a big need from PD to charge $1,000 a year to all these retailers to pay for the service that I would assume we're doing it already? All these tobacco, we're going every year anyway to look at them. So can you help me with this? I know that PD's not here, but I just feel like it's very hefty, very tough on business.
So this fee was set by ordinance, so it's now being just included for convenience in this schedule. As far as the actual development of the cost, PD based it on their time and motion study to determine how much it would cost for an officer to go and do the inspections and investigations needed to actually carry out the ordinance. That's what developed that cost and was implemented in the ordinance and then here as proposed. As far as the overall revenue, that pays for about a quarter to a half of an officer based on the revenues collected, which is about the time that it's taking for an officer to engage through our neighborhood services division. If council desires to change that fee, we need to bring an item back via ordinance to adjust that, and then we would update this to reflect what the cost is, just for convenience for the customers to see what the various fees are. It's very similar to our dance and entertainment permit fees. I think it's exactly the same, if not really close to those fees that we currently charge businesses for those kind of extra services from our police department to sell a certain product in town.
I agree with the mayor that 1,000 seems onerous especially for small businesses. And I understand that tobacco is a health issue, but until they make it illegal, this is a little high. I'd almost like to see us not approve that particular fee and come back with, maybe it should go by square footage, because you're right, Walmart, Target, I'm assuming Target sells cigarettes, but quite frankly, I don't shop for cigarettes, so, but the larger retailers can easily, this is like an ABC license. The larger places, they can absorb the loss, whereas the mom and pops they're gonna struggle with this. And it's, and I have to imagine as a retailer, one of the reasons that you get people in your stores, you may sell your tobacco products a little cheaper so that they grab a overpriced soda and ice cream. I don't know. But I'm a little concerned, I join your concern about this being a little high, and I don't know that it's justified.
Did we just approve it in the ordinance we approved?
This fee's been in place for about a year and a half.
So ahead of the
It hasn't
ordinance?
changed, we were just including it here for basically customer service sake, so it's all in one spot. But if council directs us, we can come back with more details on the fee, how it was developed for your consideration.
Yeah, just for clarity, the fee is not set by the ordinance. The
Correct.
fee is to be set by resolution of the council or approval of the council.
Well, that's what I thought, but when you
So
said
the
it's in the
amount is not
ordinance,
in.
we need this.
I mixed up the resolution.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
amount is not in the ordinance. The ordinance says a regulatory fee may be charged as in an amount set
Okay.
by council. So
Okay.
that's your prerogative to set that amount.
Okay. So we don't need a new ordinance to discuss this
We wouldn't need a
amount.
new ordinance. Again, the ordinance says
Yeah.
a fee may be
Charge a
charged
fee.
for
Okay.
regulatory compliance and the cost, to recover the city's cost. But that, again, is the council's decision as to how much recovery you want to have. I mean, a lot of these fees are designed to recover 100% of the staff's cost. Sometimes the council may wish to recover 50% or some lesser amount. That's your prerogative, so.
So we don't need to do anything with the ordinance, but we need a resolution. So council would still have to take some action to adjust that fee?
I believe the fee currently, Andy or Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure what the city is currently charging.
The fees on the screen are the
It's
current fees.
$1,000
Okay.
annually and
So
$400 for application.
That's what is currently being charged? Okay. So
Yes.
presumably there would need to be action to change that amount if you wanted to charge something other than that amount.
And just to be clear, there is a resolution attached to this. If
You're right.
council directs to make a change, we can include that in the motion and do that tonight. But I think it would be wise to come back, at least on that item, to provide some further background and details to make sure we're making the right decision.
Based on the input of my colleagues, I would be more than open to having something brought back to us. Like we say, it's been in place for a year and a half now, maybe kind of a look back, seeing how things went. My interest in, as far as the annual fee, maybe there's certain retailers, maybe the mom and pops that, there's a way to kind of maybe help them out a little bit, but also those who have really done a great job. We've had no negative interactions with them. They, kind of a good citizen award. There's something they can benefit from that. Obviously, there's other mechanisms in place to deal with maybe the problematic retailers. So if that's something that my colleagues are interested in, I'm certainly open to having PD kind of come back and kind of give us an update on where things are and how it's looking, and maybe we could take some action on it at that point.
I have a question. Do they also pay a fee to the state to sell tobacco? I forgot how this works.
I believe they do,
Yes, yeah.
yes.
So they pay a fee to the state to sell, and then a fee to, and do we go out and assess their compliance with state law or Clovis's ordinance?
Clovis's ordinance. And state law as well, as I think you heard from O'Brien. I mean, obviously, if they're selling to minors, we're enforcing that here. That's a state law requirement. So there is some regulatory compliance for the state as well. The state also can send officers in for that sort of compliance, but typically it's the locals.
And if you sell tobacco without a state license to do so, what is that consequence? I mean, are people getting this retail license, I guess is what I want to know.
believe so, yeah. I think they have to post the state license as well. So
Yeah.
there's presumably dual compliance reviews by the city, by the officers that go out. hey, have you gotten your city license? Yes, obviously you have to post your state-issued license as well.
And does the state have assessors that are going out to make sure all these retailers, do you know?
Minimally.
They
Minimally.
could.
They
but
rely on
yeah.
the locals more so.
Yeah.
But not every city, does every city have an ordinance? I don't think so.
I don't
More
believe-
and more cities are adding them. It's
Yeah.
becoming more common.
It's pretty
across the
common. Yeah, I'm sorry, Andy. It is pretty common, as Andy said, but it's not legally required that every city or county have one.
I mean, so theoretically, you could sell without a license and nobody would ever know, in some cities. If you don't have a local ordinance and you don't have a state license and the state never surveys you, you theoretically could sell it.
Yeah, theoretically.
I mean, theoretically,
Yes,
anything's possible.
theoretically.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine even in cities or counties that don't have a local ordinance, the local code enforcement or law enforcement would still be checking those locations more than likely for even state compliance.
And then if somebody reported you for selling to a minor, then that whole ball would start to roll that way. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay looking at it. I'm not sure that, I can't think of the problem we're trying to solve. I don't think you can actually reward people that are good in a fee schedule. I hear what you're saying, but how do you structure it? I mean, I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm not sure the problem we're trying to get after, except that it's too high. But if it's been that way for a year, and I don't know if you experienced people saying, I can't afford it, or I'm not gonna do it, or.
Yeah, I would ask PD to comment on that.
So
They're
maybe we should just have a
interacting
report
directly.
from staff on that?
If I would recommend approving the fee schedule per your preference, but putting these to the side and having
Yeah.
staff come back.
Maybe we
on
just need
those
to know a
items.
little bit more
Yeah.
about it.
We can get more detail.
'Cause what's a carton of cigarettes cost these days? Anybody know? $40? Is it a lot? How much is a carton, a pack, or?
Yeah, don't know. Okay, those are my
I mean,
questions.
it's
Any other
a
questions?
retail item. I mean,
Yeah.
they appreciate, so, yeah, I'd like, maybe more information would be helpful. I don't know what problem quite I'm trying to solve yet, but happy to take a look at that, take it out if you want.
I have a question. I wish Sean had stuck around. When a retailer is in violation, we issue them an administrative citation.
That's one of the options, yes.
Generally, how much are we hitting them for the first time?
Well, I think we updated the code. Paul, correct me, I think it's 1,000 now, right? We updated the penalty for a violation to $1,000, so,
Right.
yeah.
It seems to me, at least I'm going to make a motion, it may fail, that we approve the proposed fees with the exception of the tobacco licensing fee, make that $250, because I think that's a reasonable amount of money with the knowledge that if we have a retailer that is acting irresponsibly, they're going to see $1,000 administrative citation. I don't want us to lose businesses over, I just think 1,000's too high. I'm open to other discussions though.
Any other comments for now? Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the public portion on the fees. If you have any questions or comments, you may do so at this time. And then we had a whole range of other fees. So. Good.
Yeah, my name is Stephen Trevino. I live on Bullard. This reminds me of the last meeting that were here, and there was a gentleman here from the city planner, and they had I forgot what fee it was. It was a $1,500 fee. You know what? We're taxpayers. I don't understand why. I mean, I understand sometimes there has to be fees, but I see this, and I just think the city's getting carried away. I mean, that's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Anyone else? Well, we're going to close the public portion. My recommendation, I don't mind the 250 because it's lower. Andy, I think we are trying to take out the bad actors and have a way to have better oversight. And I think that every time or any time we do something like this, we just need to have communication with the industry and work with them collaboratively. And I think when we push this out, what I've been hearing from the convenience store industry is it is very, very heavy-handed. And so it's made it very difficult with how we moved it forward. And a lot of them are wanting to be partners with us in weeding out the bad actors. And how do we do that? And I think just by, just by doing, going in and doing checks and fining and putting high fees sometimes leaves a very bad taste of how we can work together as a community in stopping something that they legally can do. And so I don't mind the 250. I think it shows that we are listening, but at the same time, I want us to continue to reach out to that industry to see how we can help. I think the big box stores, they'll have no issue. We can put 5,000. I think they'll pay it, but it's sort of the small businesses in town that are affected mostly. And so, Lynn,
Well, I guess so 250 might be right, but it might be arbitrary. So maybe we could hear from PD if there was something. Maybe it's. I think it's fine to be less. I guess in some ways, I think what I'm struggling with, again, I don't know what problem I'm trying to solve for, but in some ways, why do I need to give it, why is it $1,000 every year? If I get a license and it's like your driver's license that lasts for 4 years, and then you renew it every 4 years. I'm not quite sure why I need to renew my license every year.
That's a good question.
$400 to get the application, that's fine. But maybe it's like a driver's license and I get it for 4 years and it's $1,000, $250 a year. There you go. I just made your number not arbitrary. But I mean, something like that might seem, but why would you have to do it every year now? And if you have calls for service or you are caught selling to a blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm just not, it seems more nuanced than we're trying to make it in these two lines, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
It seems like we're funding our enforcement efforts through the licensing
It's
fee.
exactly right. It's exactly right.
And I guess philosophically, the problem I have is I think 1,000's too high. When you violate the law, that's when you get spanked, pay me now, or close. Or we revoke their ability to sell tobacco products if they're going to be responsible. I just think it's heavy-handed.
And maybe the license changes if the operator changes. If you sell your convenience store and now you're the owner and not me, then you got to get a license. But there's got to be nuances that we're missing in this. I think it's too simple to say this or this, and those are the only two circumstances. So there's a motion. Did you make a motion?
No, there's no motion yet.
No motion.
Oh, I thought you said you were going. I wasn't sure if you did.
Well, I did say that.
It might be that we have enough conversation about this. We could take these two fees out of the resolution, move forward with the rest, and come back with a little more conversation about it. But I think there's other scenarios out there that get at what you're trying to do, that weed out the bad actors and don't punish people at that rate. Because I'm sure these small stores, they're not Costco.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So I would support that kind of a motion and be happy to make that if that's such a thing. To approve this fee schedule with the removal of those two for future conversation on the tobacco retail.
Are you okay with that?
Is that a thing?
Here's my motion. Approve the fee schedule as proposed with the exception of the tobacco retailer licensing fee of $1,000. That we take that out of this, and with a report back from PD as basically justifying the $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And giving us options if there's something else.
Correct, and giving them options to come up with different strategies with the knowledge that council is more enforcement minded for violators and not just hitting everybody with the same fee.
Okay, what he said, I'll second.
And just to clarify, only the $1,000 fee, the $400 fee.
Yeah, the $400 fee, I don't have a problem with the application and background fee, but the $1,000 seems a little heavy-handed.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries with one absence. Okay, I think that's it, huh? Yes, okay. City manager comments.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Our park tour from our rec division is continuing on. They're coming up in a few days here at Camden Place and moving around town, San Gabriel Park, Pasatiempo, and Dry Creek through September. It's been super popular.
I want to tell me more. Do people? I mean, how many people show up? Lots of people. I
I'll
love
get you
this.
some details unless someone in the room knows the numbers off the top of their head. No? We'll get you some details
I
on
love
that
this.
next
I
week.
think this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, we purchased or redid a trailer and bought some toys to get around to every part of Clovis
Love
and get
that
kids
so
outdoors.
much. That is
So,
great.
We're excited to offer it. Also coming up is a 9/11 Run to Remember. 9/11 is just around the corner, so if you want to be part of that, there's a QR code for you. It is, I believe, this coming weekend. We have our first General Plan Advisory Committee meeting on Thursday, September 11th, open to the public. We also have the 9/11 ceremony on 9/11, and they have a speaker. I believe Mr. Ronningen was one of the last persons to be able to leave the towers before they collapsed, one of the last survivors. So, touching story, and just the 9/11 committee has done a great job of continuing that event. The Clovis Youth Commission, as you heard, is coming up on the 17th. And then Clovis Fest, it is that time of year. So hot air balloons will be gracing the skies of
50th
Clovis.
anniversary?
Yes, it is. So this is at the end of September. Come on out. And then one last thing, our community survey that we have done every other year is going out toward the end of this week, early next. So a sampled group of residents will be asked their opinions on Clovis and give us some insight on priorities going forward. So that is going out toward the end of September.
What was the Youth Commission date again? Sorry.
I believe the 17th.
17th?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
With that, I'll turn it back to you, Mayor.
Okay. Now we'll go to council comments. Councilmember Bessinger.
Last week, staff and I went to Sacramento, to the Capitol, to meet with Senator Grove and the director of the California Air Resources Board and her staff regarding the heavy-duty vehicle mandate issue that we have great concerns about. And I thought it was a very productive meeting. The CARB folks came in with an open mind. We're going to be coming back to council. I don't know if we're going to do this in closed session or not, but we're going to be coming back with some recommended actions on the part of the city that we can at the very least apply for exemptions and go from there. But I walked away feeling better than I frankly thought I would. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Ashbrook.
I'll just report out from the August 13th FCT meeting since I missed that subsequent council meeting. Just to, I can't remember what we did. It was a long time ago. But anyway, so just it was routine business funding and budget and whatnot, but nothing particular to report.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Pierce.
Yeah, we had a Clovis Unified and City joint quarterly meeting last week here in council chambers. One thing I know Councilmember Ashbeck had really been pushing was for more substantive agendas for that, and I think that really was accomplished this time. We talked about a number of different issues where the city and the school district kind of interface and work together collaboratively on different things, and so that was really great. I think one of the big takeaways was involvement of the Youth Commission in some of the different areas that we discussed. I think one of the biggest items was just talking about e-bikes and electric scooters, and I think all of us in the room realized there was way more of those types of modes of transportation than we realized, and there's some of these things that are called e-bikes, but they're really like motorcycles and can go like 70 miles an hour. And even for an electric scooter, you're supposed to have a license, the driver's license or permit. So there was a lot of great information that came forward, and in working on educating the students who are using these to get to and from school, as well as the parents who may or may not have full understanding of what their students are riding and how safe or unsafely they are doing so. The idea that the Youth Commission could be part of that to bring that perspective and how to communicate that stuff to other youth, I think was really, really great. And so I think it was a very good meeting. I think there'll be a lot of great things coming out of it. And so those were kind of the things. And again, it's really interesting to me just personally to see how much coordination, how much overlap and all of that we have with our other partners, the school district and that. So it's always great to be in that same room together and share from the different perspectives. So I thought that was really a useful and helpful meeting. And I don't know, Lynn, if you had anything to add to that.
No, thanks. I already forgot I did that too. That was the first day I was back from vacation. So yes to everything Diane said. Do want to give kudos to staff, Andy and team. Was the best meeting we've had, and I've been to a lot of those over the last 4 or 5 years. So it was really, really productive. And I want to say to Renee in the general plan, the district has a really interesting wellness model. They've done a really nice job. I think it's worth incorporating that into our GPA. Our general plan, not GPA, our general plan, because it speaks to community wellness, and it would be really great to align the elements of that as we just think about the health of our community. So I did want to suggest that after we saw that, that wheel that they produced. So anyway, it was a really good meeting, and I think Diane's right, those are the kinds of things that I think we can share, and neither one of us could do it by ourselves. We can't enforce our way out of e-bikes, and they can't educate themselves out of e-bikes, but together we could do it. So it was very well done. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Diane.
Yeah, and then I just had one other thing I wanted to do a shout out. For the first time since the Senior Activity Center opened, I got to use it in my day job. We were hired to do entertainment for a birthday party that was held at the Senior Activity Center Saturday afternoon. And coming from that perspective of kind of being a vendor coming in and utilizing the space, not only is it really fantastic, all the outlets all over the stage and the curtains and the lights and everything was really spot on, but also the staff that was there helping facilitate the party and even helping me make sure that I was able to do my job well. Mike gets big kudos from me. He did a fantastic job, and it's just, again, kind of getting to see it from a different perspective, an incredible space for our community to get to do all kinds of different things, whether it's classes that the Senior Center is putting on itself or just an opportunity for the community to come in and utilize that space and those facilities for celebrations and other things. It was just exciting for me to be able to be on that side of it and just see a really, really great, and I see a lot of different facilities, so this one was really great, and I look forward to another opportunity to be able to do my real job there.
Thank you. I went to a couple ribbon cutting for the Fresno DJ company, and so they opened up right there, sort of the very, very southern part of, I would say, Old Town, kind of the corner of Pulaski and Barstow. So I think that property's getting developed, and so went there. Thank you to the council and staff for the groundbreaking of the library. Very exciting for our friends in the library and also just for our city. And congratulations again to our staff for working very closely with the county on getting this moving. I wanted to ask the council, Cindy Thomas came last year, and she wants to come next week and to have a resolution by the entire council, if everyone's okay. It'll be for National Service Dog Month. I think she came last year. This year she wants to bring more people. And so if the council, and dogs. And so the council will be okay? Okay, and Rebecca will prepare that. We'll put that on the agenda for next week, Andy. That's what she's planning to come. October 9th through the 12th today, Councilmember Bessinger and I were able to go to the press conference to announce the coming of the Wall That Heals. And so it's a 3/4 replica of the actual Vietnam Memorial out in DC. It'll be at David McDonald Park. From the 9th through the 12th, it's 24 hours. So you can go anytime. It'll be lighted up. And so please take your children, your family, just go see it, because I think it's just neat that it's coming here. And I think we'll get more notice, but I think on the 8th, right, Drew, that evening, there's an event the night before, the 9th? Okay, so hopefully we'll get some more notice and see if we can join. I want to thank our staff, Parks, for working with the Memorial District on organizing all this. I know you guys have done it in the background, and it's going to be something spectacular. There is a tour that they will go through different schools, and I just remember Cedarwood and Mickey Cox. Yeah, those three. So if you're around, they will try to get here by noon on the 8th, right? Noon on the 8th to set up. So if you are there. We had a the city of Fresno had a homeless meeting, and we weren't invited to the first one, we were invited to the second one. And I just wanted to report out that there's gonna be less units for housing, especially in the city of Fresno, because all the units from Project Home Key, there's no more fund to sustain, I guess, the over 3,000 units. And so because of that, a lot of the homeless will have no place to be. And so that big issue is going to be a county issue. And so the city of Fresno did pass a budget about 300,000 or something like that last Thursday to help the Poverello House with services. Something I do want to report out to our residents is there is a diversion program within those funds for the Poverello House where the Poverello House will send back homeless to their place of origin. And so I've asked our city manager to sort of just work to understand what that means. And so they described it as, if I go in, they ask me, Vaughn, you're homeless, where are you from? I'm from Clovis. Oh, do you want to go back to Clovis? And if I say yes, then they will send me back to Clovis. And so it's sort of helping people to be back where they're at. And there were funds actually allocated for that. So I wanted us just to be ready and to work closely with the Poverello House. There's another meeting coming up, so we'll probably understand more on sort of the issues and what we can do together as a county to help with some of the issues that are coming up. So so over 3,000, they will only have 700 units, and so that's a couple thousand people who will be displaced potentially, and so we're just getting ready for that. That's why the meeting. At the Council of Governments meeting, we did talk about Measure C. We voted to approve a new facilitator, Mark Kepler, a Clovis resident here. So he will be finishing up the last 3 meetings and bringing something back. We did have a preliminary list of categories, but no substantive items yet. And once the allocations come forward, I will present that to our staff to sort of analyze to see how Clovis fits within sort of the buckets and the allocations, to see if it's something, at least with the administration, if there are concerns with how we will not be able to operate with those allocations. We did not approve the contract for the attorneys to draft the ordinance or to draft the measure, because we're waiting to hopefully make sure we can get one measure, and then at that time we'll visit to see if we will need their services there. Let me see, I put Fresno meeting, but I don't know what that is. Oh, I wanted to report to the rest of the council that I will be meeting with Council President Carbasi, and we want to discuss create a subcommittee that will meet just like how we do with Clovis Unified. And so because of that, I'm wanting to see if anyone on this council would like to join me in that meeting to just discuss, and they would just be three of theirs to meet with us and sort of coordinate what we want to talk about, what are we going to do, and I'm involving Andy already so that he knows what that will entail. And so, any takers?
I would like to participate. I
Okay.
know more than a few, and I think fostering a cooperative relationship is much better than not having a cooperative relationship.
Okay. And so before anything gets finalized, it will come back to this council, so that way we can kind of see what it is we want or would like out of those meetings, if anything.
Vong, are you thinking is this subcommittee going to craft how the 2 full councils will meet together, or are you thinking it's going to be like the school board where it's 2 of them and 3 of us or whatever?
Yeah, it'll be like that, and then from that committee, do we also want a joint meeting that will be more in the Brown Act? And if not, do we just want it a subcommittee where there's no Brown Act and we're just sharing information? So we're feeling that out to see if there's a benefit to where it's an actual, where ours, there's the subcommittee where we work things out with staff and get to know each other, but at the same time, we haven't even seen or established a subcommittee, so we want to talk to see if we want to authorize and go, yes, that'll be a subcommittee of this council that works with theirs, and then give direction from there moving
So
forward.
before you proceed with a subcommittee, that would come back to the council?
I think it should. Yeah, I think it should, so that way we can weigh in and have staff input as well. But we want to meet prior to that before, because there's no,
For reasons I can't articulate, I think that's a terrible idea. I'd rather all of our council meet with all of our council. That to me seems right, but I can't articulate why exactly. But I think it's different when we're equal elected officials versus schools versus cities, like two different jurisdictions. That seems a little, I don't know, that seems risky, but talk about it and then bring it back and let's see. I mean,
Okay.
we haven't met together as a council to council
yeah, I don't
in
know when.
10 years, 10 years. So that to me was super productive. I think Lee Brand was the mayor, as I recall. So
Yeah.
that to me, I would strongly support, but I'm for some reason, I'm not sure that I think peeling off elected officials like that, that seems different to me, but come back and see what you say.
I think if I understand what your concept is, we would have some meetings to discuss how we're going to
Yeah,
have that
see
big
if
a
we
meeting.
can go there.
Oh, so not a subcommittee that would just live on its own talking about shared issues?
No, that was, well, I guess we come back after we
Come
have
tell us
those
what you talked
discussions. But I think at least my goal would be the larger meeting between the two
Yes.
councils.
That is our goal.
Because, homelessness is going to be one of the issues that, it's not fair for us to push homeless to Fresno because that's where the services are. And I don't want to see it vice versa, and then they get displaced to the county or the county islands, and then they have problems. If there is a kind of a universal strategy that we can have to fix things where we're not competing with each other, it's a win-win, I think. But I share your.
Okay, so that, if we get to that, like, how do you have a constructive shared council dialogue? Because the original I thought was there was lots of things we share, roads, air, water. I mean, there's a lot of things, transportation, homeless. So I think that makes sense to me. So yeah, we'll proceed and we'll learn, come back and tell us what you learned.
Yeah, and hopefully I think we want, knowing this council, I think we want it.
Yeah,
But Mike
I would think so.
wants to take it slow because he doesn't know if they want to meet with us, and so he wants to meet in a smaller
Maybe
group.
that's what I'm trying to articulate.
And so that's how we want to meet, to see, okay, are there parameters, are there things that we can, and so with at least two of us, we can kind of iron out some of those issues.
We also had one meeting down in the bottom of the, whatever the county building is called, with the supervisors as well. So it was the city of Fresno, Clovis, and the county supervisors, was also interesting.
Okay.
So anyway, so yes, proceed and come tell us
Thank
what
you.
you learned.
And then I know I should have spoken this to the two committee members, but and Thad, I know you're there, but I'm still waiting on Clovis East, Northeast, safe routes to school, on when that project will be done. I walk out there a lot, and it's going to become the raining season again. I know they put a little asphalt strip so that way the kids can walk amongst the mud and dirt, and they're walking through. And so, the village green is done. I just want to see, I understand that it's on us now, but if we can get that fixed, and when that timeline is, or Andy, if we can report out sometime if and when that goes. And then I also noticed that PG&E cut out sections of the west side of the sidewalk pretty terribly. And if you walk on there, it is rough, and they just put some black asphalt on it. And it was by Clovis East, on the sidewalk. I think it's PG&E, but I don't know. But if we can see if they can fix that up quickly, because I know it's been a couple months now. So if we can hold them accountable too, and just say, hey, you cut it up, fix it back so the sidewalk's whole again, because it's just black stuff, and it's just they still have their trucks and all that stuff on the north end. But if we can take a look at that. Okay, that's all I have. We're going to move now to closed session. We have 2 items. If you would like to address the 2 items, one is conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, and then the other one is conference with labor negotiators. Anyone here to address those 2 items? Okay. Do you think we'll have anything to report out, Scott?
We are asking for action on one of the items, so we'll have a report. But obviously, if people don't want to stick around, you're certainly welcome to stick around if you wish. However, we'll report that out. It'll be included in the minutes of the meeting for next week as well.
Okay. So with that, we'll adjourn into closed session. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.